You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Hey guys, how's it going? Vanilla Beast here with another MLB The Show 17 logo tutorial. This is a commissioned piece, and it's actually a Disney character. It's Jose Carioca, I believe how you pronounce his name. He's a Brazilian parrot in one of the Three Amigos Disney cartoons here. And this was an interesting piece. It was fun because it's it's lighthearted one. I haven't done any cartoon characters as of yet, and this was the first one. So we're just getting started here with his eyeball, and we're going to make the entire parrot head as his logo. And real quick, if you guys are still interested in having me do logos for you, gotten a lot of business from this lately, so looking for about a week or so out from the time that you commission a piece. The current rate is $20 PayPal donation or 15,000 in-game stubs. So the choice is yours there. But like I said, once you get it to me and we agree on it, then it'll take me about a week or so to get to it with the orders I have and whatnot. A lot of business off this. I was pretty surprised how many orders I got, but it's definitely good. It was a good thing. And the more I do, the better I get at it. I mean, I was already obviously knew what I was doing and good with the tools, but I have picked up a few tricks along the way, so I guess I'm getting a little more quicker, and that doesn't really matter to you because it's always a flat rate. I don't ever charge anybody on the time it takes me. It's always flat rate. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, this was a very interesting piece here because it was a cartoon character, and what I'm doing here, I'm making his beak. And as most things, you set it up one way, and then before I get to the end, I change a couple things up here. Like, see, instead of putting an eraser piece on the inside here, I should have just went ahead and made that green, which I'll have to do that later because green's his color there. So as always, I ask for a reference piece of exactly what he wants because I don't like to do anything out of imagination because that leaves too much chance that I don't do it the way you want it. So he sent me a picture of Jose, and that's what I went off of here, and it actually turned out really well. Most of them have. I mean, pretty well. All of them obviously were good. Obviously, I haven't had any complaints, but I was able to pretty much duplicate every image I've been given thus far. Usually the only tough part comes in curves. Sometimes you can't get the font perfect, so the fonts are pretty much the only problem I've ran into when it's like a cursive font type deal. But images like this hasn't been that much of a problem. See, so what we did there is we made his beak, and then we brought down and made his mouth, and now I'm just drawing his tongue, and we'll fill that in with red here in just a second. Just kind of color that in. Zoom in and stay within the lines. And we'll drop, we want to make that black a little bit better. So see, we'll drop that in right over top to make it perfect. And we'll grab more black lines and kind of circle off the tongue so that way it's not, doesn't have any jagged edges there. We'll get his chin going here. He's got a cool little hat too that we're going to do at the end. So right now what we want to do is just use the curves and finish out drawing his mouth, his beak. And we'll just color in the beak now. That's obviously underneath of the black layers and the tongue and such. Just color that in right there. And we will kind of make that black a point, and we do that by dropping orange over top of it. It's looking good. We're going to have to shrink it now, else I won't have room to do the rest. So always work big and then shrink down. It's always good to do that. Now we're going to do his collar, and if I remember right here, I got his collar done, and then I just totally changed it up. I didn't like the way it looked. It wasn't perfect, so we end up blowing this away here in a minute and changing it up. Because the proportion, as you'll see here, as we do the back of his head, it didn't line up right the first time. See, as I'm doing this, I realize at the end here, obviously this isn't gonna fit. I'm like, oh crap, that doesn't look right. See, it's supposed to be up there, but that's supposed to be hitting his eyeball, so that's not gonna work. So I start to see exactly what I got to do here to make this image look perfect. And I did need to make his eyeball a little bit bigger, But ultimately here, I'm going to have to just wipe out the back of his head and kind of aim it a little bit differently. See that? This is what I mean right here. Because the head should be wrapping around on the top of his eye there. The same as that one. And so this just didn't work out. I'm pretty sure I just deleted this entirely. Yeah, I just wiped it away. Said, okay, well, we're going to redo that. So now that I have his head the way I want it on top, I can just go off the top of that and just redo. Sometimes it's better to redo. Instead of trying to modify what you've done, if you've messed up enough to where it doesn't make sense, just blow it away. I mean, it'll save you time. It may not seem like it's saving you time, but it really does. See, and you can just draw this part right over again. And we'll zoom in here to make sure that we get the lines perfectly. And we'll just kind of use eraser layers to kind of round that off right there. And once again, instead of using eraser layers on the inside, I should have just used white because that's going to be his collar. But we'll fix that here in a minute when I start coloring. And here's his color. He's a kind of a bright green, dark. It's, well, I wouldn't say it's not fluorescent, but it's a lighter green. And we'll put that over top there, and then I'm gonna kind of sharpen up his head there. Just kind of color it in now. This is obviously underneath the orange. So if you go underneath the previous layer, then you have to worry about going over top of it. And see that the eraser layers above his eye, that's what I was talking about. We'll just turn the eraser layers green, and that'll do the same, have the same effect. So we just gotta find him and color his hand white here. This is his collar. Same thing with the eraser layers there. We'll just turn them white, and we'll be done. And he's looking good. He's a happy guy. He's a happy bird. What we're gonna do his hat. He's got like this little hat going on here, and that kind of the way you'll do that is anytime you have like a separate section, put it below the current one. So like his head is all one section and the higher numbers of the layer, so you just want to come back here and do the hat and put them as C1, 2, 3, and 4, because that way it'll definitely drop below him and you'll never accidentally like cover him up. This is just using the basic shapes here. See that? We'll zoom in and make sure we get everything perfect. And a lot of that just copy and paste, see, and drop it down and then color it in here. And we'll do a little shading on the hat also. But that's about it, guys. Got a lot more MLB The Show 17 content coming up, live streams, mission grinds, ranked season games. They just put a patch out on the server, so that should hopefully help that. But as always, appreciate the likes, comments, all the interactions, always appreciated. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.